All right. Well, Jillian, thank you so much for joining me today. You have been one of Dr. Jaban's clients for how long now?
We are going on a year and I think 3 months now.
Okay. How did you tell us a little bit about your story? What made you reach out? What was going on in your health?
So I just felt like I've done functional medicine for a really long time. I've seen multiple functional medicine doctors, and I just felt like every doctor definitely touched me in a certain way, but like found a new layer that they didn't know how to work with. And then they would peel back like another layer, and then it would lead to like just more unraveling of things. And then it just kind of felt like I got like in a place of being stuck. So I ended up finding Dr. Jabin through somebody I met online, just on social media, because we shared similar stories. So that's the power of social media, obviously. She had like great things to say, not only about Dr. Jabin, but about just like your guys' practice and everything that you guys do and how much it really helped her. So for me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start following him. And he had a very similar story to me. And I have, that's the one thing that like connected me the most was, sorry to get so emotional with this. It's just been a really hard journey, but it's just been really nice to find somebody who knows like what I'm going through and who knows like what it feels like to have these like ups and downs and to have these doctors tell you like your labs are normal, but they're not. I'm not normal. And like following Dr. Jabin, like everything he was saying was like, oh my God, that's me. That's me. I can relate to that. So I finally, bit the bullet and I told my husband, I'm like, this is like one person that I've met so far. Like, well, I haven't even met him yet, but that was like one person that literally had my same story and he is thriving. So it was like, I had to give it a go. So, like, after being diagnosed with intense SIBO many moons ago, before I had my son, I ended up clearing that up. Then I got pregnant. And then after my pregnancy, things started to go back downhill. Symptoms started to reoccur. I'm like, okay, it's just hormones. They say you'll bounce back, that type of thing. So end up finding out that down the line, I end up supposedly having Hashimoto's. Started working with a different functional medicine doctor who specialized in that. Everything he was doing started making me sicker. And I was just like, okay, something else is going on here. And he basically just, his hands were tied and he's like, I don't know basically what to do with you. So I've had my fair share of those, unfortunately, with certain functional medicine doctors where they just have like kind of thrown their hands up in the air. They don't know what to do. Super frustrating. So fast forward then another year or two, I end up seeing an endocrinologist because I was at my wit's end. I'm like, I've seen every doctor in the book. I've had every lab, everything done, functional, non-functional. I've not seen an endocrinologist. So met this endocrinologist that actually my chiropractor recommended, and she discovered I had mold poisoning, which at the time, never in my life heard of mold poisoning before, was a huge piece of the missing puzzle, like why I got sick again, all of that stuff. And then she only could go so far because she doesn't specialize in mold poisoning. So along those lines, that's where I came across Dr. Jaban's page and seeing all of his like crazy transformations, hearing like everything else, like all his success stories. That's when I gave it a go. And shortly prior to working with Dr. Jaban, making my first phone call for a consultation, I found out I had a co-infection to Lyme disease, which was Babesia. Again, never heard that, but again, another page in my book.
Right. Another
Yeah.
layer.
Yes, exactly. So, it's been like super frustrating because it's like I feel like I do everything right and then there's something else that comes wrong. But now I've kind of learned through like your guys' practice that our bodies are layers. And when you work on one thing, something else will come to surface. So I feel like, when I worked with Dr. Jabin, everyone just approached me in the most unique way and something that I've never been approached before. And nervous system was huge. And nobody's ever talked to me about that. So working a little bit, getting into the flow with like Vanessa and Dr. Jaban, they start doing these protocols, and I'm just like, okay, but I've done this before. I don't understand.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, so then we're going into things, and Dr. Jaban and Vanessa, they're just pushing this nervous system thing. And I'm just like, what? I don't understand. I'm fine. I'm calm. Like, I don't understand. So I kind of like let that go a little bit. And then getting deeper into protocols, ignoring the whole nervous system factor, things start to flare. And then I meet you, and then you start unraveling things like how important nervous system work is and how important other things are and stuff like that. So finally, I started seeing some success, minor success, but then you and Dr. Jaban definitely both know things hit a pretty rock bottom for me,
Yeah.
which again, totally normal when you're detoxing, all of the emotions, all of that stuff. And when I started finally being like, okay, maybe Dr. Jaban's not crazy. Maybe this nervous system thing is legit. I started doing my research. Things got a little more calmer. Things got a little better. And then things got worse again. And then that's kind of when I was like, okay, I got to do this primal trust thing. I got to get on this. They know what they're talking about. It's the last thing that nobody's ever talked to me about. So maybe this is a huge piece of the puzzle. And not one doctor in all of the years, I'm 36 years old, has never addressed that. And that has been, I think, one of the biggest life changes for me. And
Wow.
I feel like this is where my story turns for the better. And that's where I feel like I I am a new person, but in a good way. Like, nervous system retraining has helped me not obsess over my health, which I know is like a huge problem. And I'm not Googling all my side effects anymore. I'm not scrolling for the next supplement to find that's going to cure me. You know what I mean? So I feel like that was like the biggest success for me. And you guys have taught me listening to your body is key. And I'm pretty good advocate with that for sure. But I definitely feel like having the extra support from you guys and everything like that was like awesome through all of that. And I feel like getting my nervous system under control. I've gotten a few ganglion injections that helped tremendously. I feel like my story now will be even better as we continue.
Yeah.
So I feel like I know there's more layers to it, but I know they're going to just be easier to overcome.
Yes. Yes. And that, Jillian, that's why I am so inspired by you, is because you are the perfect example of our health is like an onion, and we have to peel back
Yeah,
layer by layer. And sometimes in your case, when we peel back those layers, we discover some stuff that we don't like. We didn't
right.
want that to be there. But when we discover those things, we got to work on it. And
Yes.
that is what has been so inspiring and wonderful to see you, because you kept peeling back the layers. You didn't give up. And I
Yeah.
know that there has been times where you thought, I just want to throw in the towel. I'm tired. I've been down this road, but you did not quit, Jillian. And that is why I want other people to see your story, to know what you've been through, and to see that there's hope on the other side, right? There's hope for healing.
Yeah.
So
I think everyone can get there at some point. You just have to have, again, that positive attitude and mindset to get there, and just know it's not like you just take a pill and you're good to go.
yeah, you have to work on here and the physical body. So and you're a perfect example of that. Well, real quick, tell us just a little bit, like, have some of your health symptoms improved? Are you feeling better? Again, I know that there's been bumps along the road, but healing is a journey, right? We're going to have speed bumps, but how are things now?
Yeah, so things are definitely improving. I will say, I had a good 6-month period of things hitting really, really hard. And I didn't see like a light at the end of the tunnel. But after I gave my body the break, after we got some more answers through labs and kind of just stepping back, that was super beneficial. Just not doing all these detox things and like all of these, you know, things to help support lymphatic. Like sometimes it's too much. It's the right thing, but it's just too much. So a lot of my symptoms have improved. My acne has improved a lot. My moods have improved a lot. My energy has improved. My immune system has improved. This is the first time in, I'll be 37 in June, in my whole life that I was able to get through a winter with no sickness, which is so awesome. So, I mean, I had a minor little cough or sniffle here and there, but my kid had the flu like once or twice. I didn't catch any of that. I, you know, was exposed to everyone around the holidays. He's in school, you know, all the things. I didn't catch any of it. That is a first for me. And I've been able to hit, typically I start to fall back with all of the previous doctors I've worked with. There was a trend around the 1 year mark, and I'm currently 1 year and 3 months, and nothing's returned. That has improved, which is amazing. And I know a lot of that comes from nervous system too, and retraining my brain. I know that's like a huge thing that you guys preach so much about, which is so true. I thought you guys were crazy when you told me about all that and primal trust and all of these things. But I mean, it definitely made a difference for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm super thankful for that.
And also, you know, and this is why I love working with Dr. Jaban, is because he meets the client where they're at. You know, he's an advocate for you. He wants to work with you and not force you to detox even more, because like you said, you did that with other doctors and that made things worse. It's been such a joy to watch you, Jillian. If there is anything that you would tell someone that is watching your story, if you know, if they're where you're at right now, what would you tell them? Is there a word of encouragement that you would give to someone that maybe who's in your spot right now?
I would just say, trust the process. It gets better. It is hard no matter what you do, but life is hard. There's always obstacles to be thrown. But at the end of the day, you working towards being the best version of you is worth every single penny and every single up and down. And it's just temporary. That's what's most important. The humps will get worse for a little bit, but then they get better and then they go away. And that's what's the best thing. So it's all about just trying to like have that bigger focus and the bigger outcome at the end of the tunnel. That is the best part of it all. And just on those really, really, really hard days, try to remember the bigger picture. That's what I would say. I'm super, super, super blessed to have you guys. It's like sometimes just talking to a friend, which is nice because a lot of doctors, they don't hear you out or they don't understand what you feel like. And it's so nice to have a team that you guys have been through it personally in your own little stories with mold and Lyme and parasites, you know, all the things. But like, it's so nice to open up and on those really tough days where I can just shoot you a chat real quick and be like, man, I'm struggling today. And then you send me some words of encouragement. And it's like, okay, that's what I needed. Because sometimes it's hard to talk to your friends who don't know what you're going through. So it's so important to have that team behind you that knows exactly what you're feeling. Yeah. And I'm very blessed to have that. And everyone's been like so wonderful. I'm just so thankful for all of it. It means like so much to me. And I'm just so thankful. And I hate to cry like this.
You're gonna make me cry.
Oh God, I'm so like emotional because it's finally so nice to see that change and to have that team like cheer you on every step of the way. And it means so much to me. Sorry, I'm
no, Jillian, thank you so much. Your story is incredible, and I know it's going to inspire so many people. And it wasn't easy. We know that, but you are a fighter and you didn't give up, and that's what it takes. And now look at you. You have come out on the other side, and just like you said, it is only going to get better from here, and I believe that for you.
Yeah, and I know my story's not over yet. There's still things to tackle, but it's just nice to have that progression and know like everything I've been doing for the last year is actually worth it and has been turning out to be a positive instead of a negative like it has in the past.
Yeah.
And you guys are an amazing team and I couldn't do it without you guys, that's for sure.
Well, thank you, Jillian.